Welcome along, my aspiring allies, and thank you for joining me on this most recent episode of the Speaking of Inclusion podcast. Today, I am joined by Blanca E. Rodriguez, and she is the owner and CEO of Wounded Healer LLC. She is an Amazon bestselling co-author, a holistic life coach, TEDx and international speaker, and educator. And under the umbrella of Wounded Healer, she provides a variety of services, including medical massage therapy, as well as being a fitness instructor and dance teacher. Now, Blanca is committed to helping others improve their quality of life, no matter their age. And she describes Wounded Healers as being people whose painful experiences are what enables them to help others. And that is exactly what she joined us to talk about today. She has been sharing her own perspectives and lived experiences and how they have shaped who she is and how she shows up in the world. We also do talk about, so I need to pop a trigger warning in here. We do talk about her lived experiences around sexual violence and experiences of abuse. So please, if that's something that feels a little bit delicate for you, there may be some sections you might want to skip ahead a few seconds on. But we don't go into any graphic details, so there's no need for a full trigger warning on that one. What we do talk about, though, however, is how to create safe spaces where people can show up and have honest conversations about things that may have happened to them, and how we, as people who might be listening to those experiences, can show up in support. We also shared a little bit about the ways in which music and dance have absolutely helped Blanca in her life, and some of the parallels between us and our animal friends, and the way in which we can handle some of the stresses that life throws at us. So, without further ado, you know the drill. Sit back, relax, and get comfortable in whichever way works best for you. And please welcome Blanca E. Rodriguez to the Speaking of Inclusion podcast. But what I really loved is when we had our first conversation, and you said about how in the way the world is currently, and you kind of referred to this kind of current overwhelm that we've got, right? And you were talking about simplification, and I was like, oh yeah, that feels like a nice thing to acknowledge, especially as we've just said, like we're coming into December. People are getting a bit panicky, aren't they, about like it's the last month of the year,
Yes.
various festivities will soon be upon us. And it's almost like the pressure to participate will be high, the pressure to like be a good human will be
Right.
ramping up, the pressure to be a good leader and get things done before the end of the year. Like we're going to be moving into peak overwhelm, aren't we?
Yeah, it's the time of the year where people get stressed out the most, get most depressive the most. Many not so good things happen in December. It's the first for a lot of people that experience loss. It's the first holiday season. It's the first. I mean, here we celebrated Thanksgiving. Thank goodness it's over. But yeah, it's the first of many things and many changes for a lot of people out there. So definitely the word overwhelm can be an understatement for many people. Me, thank goodness, Thanksgiving passed, thank God. And yeah, it was just a nice quiet one with my husband, and that was it. So I had it good, but here it's like the busiest time of the year for travel here in the US is Thanksgiving, and people go really crazy, and there's winter storms all over the place. So go figure. Yeah, it's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm
Yeah.
staying here. Yeah,
It's
nice
almost
and put at home.
counterintuitive, isn't it? When we're just like, hang on, the weather's terrible. Nobody really wants to go outside.
Right.
So here in the UK currently as well, on the 1st of December, we also have amber weather warnings everywhere. So there's a lot of like do
Mm-hmm.
not travel. Like the universe is giving us like stay home, be cozy vibes.
Yeah, yeah. Please
Um,
stay put for a little bit. It'll be okay.
yeah,
Tomorrow's another day. Next month is another month. Yeah,
yeah.
we keep on going. That's for sure.
And isn't that funny as well? There's we're thinking about Thanksgiving. So obviously it's not something that we celebrate in the
Oh,
UK.
good for you. You're not missing anything. Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always a bit curious, really, and this isn't the topic for today, but I'm always really curious about really like I like the idea of giving thanks and being grateful. I'm always curious as to why do we only do it one day a year? Like why has it got to be a specific celebration for us? Should we not really be buying into that a bit more frequently? And
Exactly.
then I'm also curious of like the I don't know if etymology is the right word, but the origins of Thanksgiving to me also, I don't know that I'm cool with,
I'm not okay with that. It's like the
yeah,
origin of Thanksgiving has nothing to do with being thankful. That's the thing.
yeah,
So yeah, go crazy USA. Yeah. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. It's like, curious. But
Yeah.
isn't it interesting that we're yeah, we place so much emphasis on actually today is the day we have to travel for our family and do all the things that
Yeah.
we
All the things that we
could
never
just
do.
do
Hmm.
all year round with a lot less
That's right.
stress.
That's right. And then there's so many families because I saw it. Thank goodness it was from the outside. As an outsider, I have seen it many times that Thanksgiving is the time of the year for people to supposedly be thankful of something, and they end up in a brawl. They end up fighting. They end up,
Yeah.
I didn't want to be here in the first place, and grudges and grief and all this stuff, which is totally, it has nothing to do with what the day is supposed to be about. But hey,
Yeah.
here we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. And I guess for our UK and other country listenership, I mean it's the same, right? I would imagine it's similar for many festivities, isn't it? We place so much emphasis on organized fun on a specific date.
That's right.
And then it never lives up to expectations. I always find
Rarely.
New Year such an anticlimax, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, we'll wait for the countdown and nothing happens. And
Right.
and you just think, well,
Well,
great.
tomorrow's another day.
Yeah. Oops. I still have to get up tomorrow and feed the cat. So
That's right.
it's all the same, right?
Love
Anyway,
it.
but actually this does lead us in nicely, isn't it? Because we are, the world is an overwhelming place. I love how you are really thinking about the simplification of things. And I know when we spoke, you shared how you have this passion for helping people find joy, find happy,
Mhm.
connect with themselves, through kind of health and lifestyle and the things that you help people with,
Yeah.
to bring more presence to those things, right? To be more
Mhm.
present with themselves and each other. So
Right.
for the benefit of the listeners who didn't get the fantastic intro call with you that I did, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and kind of how you arrived at where you have arrived?
Yes, I am the owner of Wounded Healer LLC, and under this umbrella, I offer services of massage therapy, canine massage therapy. I'm a speaker, Toastmaster. I'm a holistic life coach, group fitness instructor for 4 decades already. I am very grateful to be in this body that still is very, I mean, functioning to its greatest capacity. And at this age and time in my life, definitely it's a big blessing and something to be grateful for every single day, to be in this body that serves me so well, even though when I didn't serve my body well for so long. So that is definitely one of the things that really keeps on inspiring me to do better for others, for myself, to lead by example, to practice what I preach. And definitely, this comes all the way from my childhood. My father was a very hardworking man. He was very dedicated. My mother as well. My mother lived in extreme poverty her entire childhood, and she made her decision at a very early age. And she told us many, many times that when she would become a mother, she always wanted to be a mother. My mother's 94 right now. So that was one of her biggest missions in life. It was to have a family, to become a mother. And she promised herself that her children will never go through the suffering that she went through. And my mother complied. And my mother gave her all to help herself get out of the situation where she was at. I can only imagine where she was. She will go barefooted to school. She had no shoes to wear to school. She lived in a little teeny tiny bohío, like what they call in Puerto Rico, with 8 brothers and sisters with a widowed mother that she was illiterate. So it was a situation where she could either stay where she was, it could have been that way, easy, because she didn't want to get out of comfort zones, what we call comfort zones that are not comfortable at all. But she decided that that wouldn't be her story till this day. So definitely my parents have been such a huge inspiration in what I am doing today, because I learned from them what hard work is, what ethic is, what giving love, what giving to others means. My father, we moved from Puerto Rico to New York City, and he wanted to conquer the American dream. This was back in the late 1950s and early 60s, where there was a huge wave of Puerto Ricans moving to the mainland for a better life. And my father not only moved and pursue the American dream, he conquered the American dream with 3 different businesses. He became a very abundant individual, and I will never forget that he will always give to others. And if somebody was in need, he will always help or give him an odd job or whatever the case it was. But giving to others, definitely, it's one of these things. It's like I learned it at home, and I cannot be more grateful for learning all of these things from a very early age. And here I am all of these years later helping others as well. And it brings me the highest joy, because when I help others, I'm definitely helping myself.
Yeah. People say that a lot, don't they? People who do certainly things like a lot of charity work and things like that. Like actually they arrive there through the wanting to do good, but you can't not benefit yourself as well in that
That's right.
altruistic endeavors. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I know, thank you for sharing that. There's some real things that stood out there around like the role that your parents have played as well in shaping like your ethics and your resilience and your gratitude as well, which I think is just delightful and something that perhaps we don't spend enough time just pressing pause to check in on. Like, what are all the things that have led us to where we are today, and
Right.
how are we just checking in with that and
Mm-hmm.
being grateful for that, or at least as well noticing maybe, okay, where are the things that aren't exactly as I would like them to be,
That's right.
and like your mother acknowledging, like, okay, do I want to do something about this or do I not? Like I have a
Mm-hmm.
choice in this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
um
think especially with my mother's story, that I always do my best to honor her with this, is that she didn't have choices. At that time, being a woman, especially that, let's start with the woman thing in a world of matches, and when the world in Latin America, where men had the first and last saying about everything, especially on her time, because my mother is old. She's 94 years old. So she was in that time, and she decided that her life would not stay the way it was. I think that's really, really admirable. My mother
yeah,
had chronic untreated mental illnesses for her entire life. And even though she was mentally ill, she still made a decision, and she stuck to that decision, and she never went back to where she was.
yeah,
And that is something to honor, that even though she has so many odds against her, she still kept on going. And that to me is something extremely important that I embrace in her. And even though, there was many times that the relationship was a roller coaster ride, because I'm not going to be denying that it was a very difficult situation with my mother, with her emotional state. Still, there's many things that I learned from my mother, that she was the one that instilled these things, these principles, these values within me, even with all of the odds against her. That is something to be honored every day.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. And like you said, very bold as well, a bold decision to say, actually, I just don't accept the way things are, and I will find a
Yeah.
way to do
Mm-hmm.
something with that or to do something else. I think that's really bold and brave as well.
Hmm.
And testament as well, if she's 94, did you say, or 96?
94.
94, yeah, and she's still, she's still going. And it's like, yeah, the resilience is absolutely
Yeah.
there, still leading by example for sure.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So when we originally spoke as well, you talked a lot about how, through your fitness instructor work as well, how you enjoy that through bringing joy and happiness to people and creating a safe space where, it doesn't matter what's going on in someone's life. You wanted to make sure that you were creating spaces where people could arrive and
Hmm.
enjoy that moment and kind of distance themselves from any worry or anything else. And I'm kind of tying it back to that simplification of life is overwhelming, but there is a space that you can find where you can be you can be present with yourself. And I know through your lens, you were shared some information around, people potentially in abusive relationships, seeking
Yeah.
almost refuge through this is just some time for me to be doing my thing.
Hmm.
And I'd like you to share, if you would, about a bit about that, because I think there are some parallels in there that we can draw as well for the workplace, which is we also have a responsibility to make those spaces safe so that
Hmm.
while people are there, they're not burdened by other things that they might have to be dealing with. So tell us a bit about your role in that.
Yes, as a group fitness instructor, I started teaching some kind of dance and group fitness instructor since I was 18 years old. I'm 60 now. And my love for dance, music goes beyond just, oh, I just love and like this song and I love to dance. I've been a dancer all of my life. I don't remember a day of my life that I haven't have some love for music or dancing or jumping from wherever I was and start dancing. To me, in my experience, in my long experience as a fitness instructor, as a student as well, because when we are teachers, we must be students, we must be learners, we must open ourselves up to learning every day in order to deliver something better for our students and ourselves. And when we stop being students, it's not a good idea, definitely. But I not only have found solace in music and dance, which I did, starting with the moment that my father died tragically. I'm a sexual violence survivor myself, and dance and music were my saviors. They saved me from my own demise. They saved me. I mean, this saved me from, I mean, and it has always been the most stable and secure love that I ever had in my life. Stable, consistent, every day, every year of my life. That is the one love that I always had. And it really has been a miracle for me. That's for sure. In a world where I was around chronic mental illness, in a world of death, in a world of tragedy, in a world of loss, in a world of silence, in a world of shame. Because when I was sexually assaulted for the first time, I was only 9 years old. I didn't understand what was going on, but all I knew is that I need to keep quiet because that was the way it was. And how did I learn this? Oh, through the death of my father. Because when my father died, I didn't know how to grieve. Nobody grieved with me. It was all, shh, you don't talk about the dead. So since I didn't talk about something so painful in my life at such a young age, when I was assaulted for the first time, I thought exactly the same. That was my train of thought. It's like, okay, if I cannot speak about my father's death, I cannot speak about anything wrong. And dance and music save my sanity, save my soul in the form of music, because music is pure, music is for the masses, music is for every single emotion that we have in this life. So how am I not going to embrace that? And I still do to this day and for the rest of my life. But definitely when I started teaching, I found an even bigger purpose than mine alone. So it wasn't only about drowning my sorrows and pretending through dance and music. it became something that it was very significant and important for others too. I started with teaching little kids. They got everything immediately. I loved it. And as an adult that I am now, this mission definitely chose me, and I'm grateful about it. I am teaching people that are 45 plus, 55 plus people. And a lot of people here in the US, especially in Florida, where I live, they are alone. They have lost their husbands, they have lost people, they're living alone, and they're trying to find their purpose as well in this next stage of their lives. And this is when group fitness instruction can be so powerful for so many. But it definitely started with me being so powerful in my life. And it's like I'm doing something that definitely is more important than what I'm going through. And when I was in a very violent relationship with the father of my kids, it was my savior, it was my solace, it was my vacation, it was my purpose, it was my sole purpose. It was even an escape. Escaping is not a good idea, because the more you escape, the more will be there slapping you on the head. Hey, get it done.
Well,
face whatever it is you need to
go
face.
Back, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in this healing journey that I am at, which is, I mean, when we are recovering from childhood trauma, like I am to this day, it's a lifelong journey. It's not a magic wand. And this is when fitness instruction, dance, music is so it has been so empowering in my life, that whatever it is that you're going through, anybody out there, you know what? Go outside, dance a little bit. Even if you're not a professional dancer, just move your body a little bit. Listen to that song that makes your heart sing, that makes your heart happy. And if you're going through a difficult situation, go and put on that song that will make you cry your ass off. It's good too. Just don't stay there long. But definitely, this conversation right here, when it comes to dance and music, it's like I am emotional about it, because it has bring me so much love, joy, companionship. Music and dance have been so compassionate with me. It has never let me down. It has never leave me alone. And that's something that to be very, very thankful for. It's a miracle in my life.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I can feel that the way that you speak about it, but it's fascinating, isn't it? The kind of emotional connection that we can establish through music, through movement. And I don't think it's well, I'm fairly certain it's not a coincidence that we talk about like our human nervous systems, isn't it? And when we shake things, like it interrupts. For the people that are obviously watching this on YouTube, you can see me shaking. I'm doing a Taylor Swift shake it off movement. But
Love it.
For people listening, I'm just giving it a bit of a wiggle, because there is that kind of like animals do it, don't they? When they've had a stressful situation, they shake their body. They literally shake out like
yes, they shake it out, and it's, I mean, even doing this, it's a healer, it's a de-stressor. It is proven that movement is medicine. And that's why dogs, I'm a canine massage therapist, and anything that stresses out the dog, it's not about only when they're wet that they shake it out. It's like, no, when they're stressed out, when they're when they're anxious, remembering that the animal is a reflection of the owner. When they're in an anxious situation, that the human companion is anxious, they start shaking it out because it's a de-stressor.
Yeah.
It really is. And this is like how we are anatomically speaking. So when you are feeling stressed out and anxious, shake it up.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful
absolutely
thing.
and as if on cue, Teapot's made her presence known, and she's now entered the room to yell at me, but I'm hoping Zoom will not make her known.
I love it.
We will find out. It's one of those things, if I sound like my brain's trying to be in two places, that's why.
Yep.
So, hang on. Hang
Oh
on.
my God.
You come inside.
I love cats.
Here she is. Right. This is all
Oh,
going in. Here she is.
no
This is Teapot. So for the
hair.
benefit of people listening, I'm just showing Blanca a cat, my
I
Sphinx
love
cat
it.
Teapot. So she hopefully will now stop yelling at me. We'll find out.
Oh my God, she's adorable. How
Well,
old is she?
she's 10.
Oh my God, what a
Um,
joy. Mm.
I know she's stinky, needs a bath as well. So we're going to hope that she's going to settle down.
Love it.
So, but to prove our point, Teapot, do you want to come in and shake it off? You're going to come and shake. No, you're not. So, but it's true, and if it's some, I often think we can look to, our animal counterpart, our animal
Deal.
counterparts, and our kind of, there are clues, aren't there, in all of nature to show us things. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and I love what you were saying as well about actually, if you're feeling emotions and there are certain things that make you feel a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
then go with it. And I find often, like, if I'm either in a really good mood or I'm in a really bad mood, I turn the music on in my car and I sing along very badly, but very loudly, because there's something about like really making a lot of noise that
Yes.
that helps move it on, right? It's about
Mm-hmm.
creating that space where it's okay. And like I wouldn't want to do it around other people. But for me in that moment, it really helps me shift whatever it is I'm holding on to.
Definitely. Definitely. I cannot agree more. And Teapot just shake it off. It's like, oh, there you go. You're shaking it up. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Yeah,
Join me.
absolutely.
Join me.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's probably
And
because she's telling me it's dinner time, but
I love it. I mean, I get so distracted in a good way with any kind of animal. Yeah, I'm an animal lover. Hmm.
yeah, same. Well, Teapot's a regular on the podcast, which is lovely.
Love that.
So, bringing it back to topic, Pop Pop.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, and you touched on a lot of that, and I don't want to kind of gloss over the fact that you mentioned that at such a young age that you were sexually attacked, experienced sexual violence, and
Hmm.
I think that is sadly something that a lot of people will also relate to, and the processing of that you have to carry on through your life, and as you said, the way in which we as society don't speak about this as a topic,
Hmm.
or don't create space where people can be open and honest and vulnerable about their experiences,
Right.
um, doesn't help, because it creates that culture of silence that then makes it really difficult to do something about it when we're not actively allowing people to address that and address how that they feel.
Yeah.
And I think I hugely applaud yourself for being kind of vulnerable in being willing to kind of share, well, hang on, this is something, and like you say, it's not just happened to you once, you said the first
Hmm.
time.
Yeah.
And that, again, unfortunately, is a sad fact of human existence, that
Hmm.
we come up with new and creative ways to be awful to each other
Yeah, yeah,
all of the
definitely.
time.
And the worst part of this is most of the time, and I'm sure that a lot of people that are out there, they can agree with me, it can happen under your own roof. So, and it happened to me under my own roof. I come from a lot of violence, loss, and shame, silence. Silence is, it was the worst part of my journey, my silence. And it was the first thing that I was indoctrinated into with the loss of my father. It was all about silence. So on behalf of all the silence that I endured, I am here to tell everybody out there, don't do it alone, because that's the most important part. Don't do it alone. There will always be someone, there will always be someone like us in this very important podcast that we believe your story. Your
Yeah.
story shouldn't go silence. Your story is to be heard by as many people as possible. And I mean, from this loss and tragedy and this shame, it became something more powerful than I ever imagined. And it's bigger than me. Here we go again with situations and experiences becoming something bigger than I am. Like my father's death, my mother's mental illness, my sexual violence, that I endure sexual violence, sexual harassment left and right for almost my entire life. And definitely is something that it needs to be spoken about. It's something that children need to understand, because I was a child when this happened to me, and I didn't understand anything that was going on because I had no idea what sexuality was in the first place. So it's something that many parents, I'm a parent of a beautiful 24-year-old daughter. It's something that we as parents need to leave that door open to our children and tell them, and please tell your kid, you won't be in trouble because of what you tell me. Nobody will be in trouble because of what you want to tell me. And that is an open door for trust and openness and communication that all survivors do really need, appreciate, embrace, and value tremendously. It was only until I became an author at age 52 that my story started to be heard and started to be seen. My siblings came to me, why in the world you didn't say anything? It's like, well, then what am I going to say? What is there to say when we, all of us, grew up in this environment? And they're like, yeah, point taken. But my story doesn't have to be yours. So yeah, rewrite your story. It's worth it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there are so many kind of translatable or like parallel lessons that we can think about just generally in life as well. So firstly, I love that you are openly kind of saying, actually, we can or make a separation between, you don't have to wait until children essentially are in that space where, you know, they're necessarily thinking themselves about becoming sexually active before you wait to speak to them. But it's really about speaking about, you know, what isn't okay in terms of your body and your own choices, and
Right.
knowing who you are and how you are, and
Mm.
and that it's okay to talk about these things, because and I've often wondered, and again, this is a me personal thing, and I'm not, you know, I'm in no way qualified to comment on anything really, but I've always found it kind of interesting when we what's the word, like infantilize the language we use around bodies for kids, because I found that hugely unhelpful, in the sense of, you know, like if you're trying, if a child is trying to tell you something, and you know they're using
Yeah.
ridiculous names for things, and
Exactly.
it makes it
Especially
so
when it
easy
comes
to like,
especially when it comes to our private parts.
yeah,
It's like, why don't you just call it private parts
yeah,
instead of calling it, oh my God. And I mean, I mean, my first language is Spanish. I was born in New York City, but raised in Puerto Rico by Puerto Rican parents, and Spanish was the name of the game. So they, oh my God, it's so ridiculous and insane. They will call the vagina pupusa. And then pupusa in Latin America, pupusa means it's a food.
yeah.
It's a food. It's like, why do you call pupusa? Oh, and then there was another one, cucaracha. Cucaracha means roach. How disgusting. Yes. Oh, la cucaracha. It's like, what in the world are you talking about? I mean, there's a Mexican song that is called La
That's what I
Cucaracha.
thought. Yeah,
So how we as little kids, I was a little kid, how am I going to navigate my private parts when there's no respectful approach
yeah,
to your privacy? Starting
yeah,
when you are a little teeny tiny kid, because there was no respect. La
yeah.
pupusa, la cucaracha is like, what the hell is this? I always found it disgusting. But, you know, I was a little kid. Silence. Here we go
Yeah,
again. Yeah.
yeah, exactly that. And isn't it interesting, because that, I think that's this, it's similar in English, like I've heard kids be taught to call it their cookie. um I mean, you know,
Yes,
or
exactly.
flour, right?
The flower that
And
I
it's
heard a
kind of
lot.
like,
Hmm.
yeah, and actually part of me is like, why can't we just be anatomically correct and teach kids it's a vulva? Do you know what I
Exactly.
mean? And then when someone says like, this person touched my vulva, we know exactly like, we
We
know
know
exactly
exactly
what
what
that
they
child is telling you.
Exactly. And
And then you can make a judgment.
how important is to call whatever it is by their name.
Yeah.
Don't go around the damn bushes calling it the flower. A flower is like, hello, what
Yeah.
flower are we talking about? I love
Yeah.
flowers. Okay, see,
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah, and the cookie. That's yeah, definitely. I heard those
Honestly,
too. It's like that.
mind blowing, really, isn't it? But yeah, so I think there's
It
a
really
lesson in
is.
there around, but then to kind of to bring it back to the parallel, I guess, with creating safe spaces from a workplace perspective. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to think there won't be too many examples where
Right.
we have to have that specific conversation in a workplace.
Mm-hmm.
However, the same thing applies, doesn't it? Make it safe for people to report and give you an accurate conversation, like description of what has happened to them.
Right.
And don't make it shameful, and don't make it that something that they don't feel they're believed about either.
Exactly.
Like,
That's right.
because that, I think, half the battle is the feeling that if you're going to go to great lengths to tell someone that feels very vulnerable, to then have you not believed. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know the statistics, but I will find it for the show notes. But I think the statistics on people reporting cases of rape are so low because people will
Mm-hmm.
not come forward because they don't think they're going to be believed.
Yeah, I can share something with you. The people that report versus the people that experience it. I mean, this is the report, and then the experience is so high and so high. It's unbelievable. I did not long ago a workshop for a new form of dance that I absolutely love. It embraces woman, it embraces who we are, and embraces our sensuality, our movement. It's a beautiful workshop. And this fantastic teacher, we had an open conversation. It was 10 women, 10 of us. Out of 10 women that we were in that room, 8 of us experienced sexual violence. Out of 8 of us, nobody reported nothing.
Yeah.
Why is this? Because the first of all, it's humiliating, it's shameful, it's invasive. We are devastated as it is with the experience itself. Just to have, if we step forward, because I did twice, I stepped forward to a supervisor and I told him this person sexually harassed me. Oh, I'll talk to him. And that was it. It was like a little slap on the hand, maybe. And it's like, why am I going through all of this shame and embarrassment for this person just to totally ignore it? Like nothing happened. And that's why I never reported anything ever. And I lost count in my life of how many times and how many places I've been sexually harassed. I remember how many times I've been sexually assaulted throughout life, including with my ex partner and the father of my kids. We were in a violent relationship, but before him, it was faces upon faces of touching inappropriately, of this inappropriateness. Oh, they were touched inappropriately. Inappropriately is an understatement
Mm.
versus the way it feels. Inappropriate for me, it's like that is so light.
Yeah.
It's so, oh, it was inappropriate. Okay, let it go. Something else inappropriate will come your way. So get ready. Well, that's why I find it's like how light, how unimportant these very life-changing events can be, and it's like one versus the other, it just makes no sense. And I was invited to a podcast by this gentleman that he was sexually assaulted, and for a man to step forward is like, oh my god, if we will keep silence, or with men, it's triple the silence, triple the pain. I mean, the high rates of suicide in men, and there's many that they've been sexually assaulted and abuse, and they will never in their lifetime will say nothing to no one, because you're a man, this is not supposed to happen to you, you're the one who is in command here. But then you were a victim, you are a survivor. That was, I mean, to me, that was an experience like no other. I am grateful to be able to have these conversations for all the years that I of silence that I endured. This is super important, and I'm super grateful and honored to be here, Katie. I just want you to know.
Well, thank you. And thank you so much for that, because I'd written that down as something to say, because I wanted to kind of make the point that whilst being the victim of sexual violence isn't gendered, and we do know that disproportionately women are on the receiving end of it more.
Yeah.
However, the challenges faced by the people that are victims are very different, because we're silenced in different ways. And I love that you raised that, because the levels of shame for men who have been assaulted, it's just it's another way of understanding how do we create a space so that someone can trust us with sharing that. I think you said earlier, kind of the feelings of being humiliated or frustrated or violated, like whatever the emotion is that is coming up, making it safe to express that and not be met with, like you say, are you sure? Are you sure that's what happened?
That's
Are you
right.
sure you didn't misunderstand? Are you sure you didn't get the wrong end of the stick? Are you
That's
sure?
right.
Because you're a man. Like whatever the response could be.
Exactly.
It's about noticing our own biases and our own ignorances, I guess, and being there for that person and their experience and honoring that.
Right. Definitely. And that is this phenomenal human being that he opened up himself in a way like I have never seen in a man, that he made a podcast out of it, and he has all of these discussions with his guests. It's like oh, this person is a badass, definitely. And I'm very grateful that he is doing these things, because it's an open door for so many men that endured that silence just like I did.
Yeah. Because then I guess if we reframe that and look at the other side of things, is the reason that people are able to get away with it in the numbers that they do.
That's right.
Is because this silence and the shame exists. They rely on that power dynamic, that actually the chances is that someone won't speak up, someone isn't going to report. And that for me is why it's so important that we I don't even want to say make light, because I don't think people actively look to minimize it, but through our own ignorance minimize the experiences of people, because we're just not engaging as in the ways that we've said, with the language that we use, with the spaces that we create, and the conversations that we are too squeamish to have, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot agree with you more. So definitely this word, inappropriate. How about violated?
Yeah.
How about abuse? How about disrespected? I mean, there's words and there's words, and it's like, oh, inappropriately. It's like, okay, I wouldn't name it that way, but okay, whatever. Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. Yeah, and actually, it is about giving the words the weight, isn't it? The weight that they deserve. And I heard someone else, and I'm gonna have to try and find my source, but I don't know that I'm gonna be able to remember who it was that said it first. But someone said about reframing the way that we talk, rather than saying something as an allegation, it's a report, because report is just a factual stating of something has happened, whereas when we call something an allegation, it's immediately pitting a person against a person and bringing kind of heightened to it. Whereas if we're reporting something, we're just capturing facts.
Right.
And I quite like that approach, which is a thing has taken place, capture the facts of the thing that has taken place, and then decide what you're going to do with it, rather than immediately taking sides to say, an allegation has been made and we have to uphold the allegation or not uphold it kind of creates a different dynamic. And I thought, oh, what an interesting way of thinking about it, like stripping it back to its bare facts.
Definitely. And that is why some women that had come out and speak openly about this situation, and I'm bringing into the conversation Jeffrey Epstein, that he was a serial serial rapist, and he was enabled, and the enabler, and all of these people, and this lady Virginia, that she ended up taking her own life, but she left a mark. She said it out loud, and even her ending her story as tragically and sadly as it did, it still, her words and whatever she left behind is extremely powerful. And I know, and definitely she can be a big inspiration for many people. Definitely she is to me, even though things ended as tragically as they did with her. She is an inspiration to me, and she's an inspiration to many of us to speak up. Don't stay quiet. Say it out loud, because the trauma, it stays there for the rest of our life, but it can turn into an inspiring story that will help others. And that is a big deal.
For sure it is. And actually, I want to apologize there, because so for people who are listening without the visual aids here, just as Blanca was sharing that, and I completely echo that message, and I think I agree with you so much. The tragedy in her story is that she hasn't been able to see the change that she has brought about, and her bravery and her courage
Absolutely
has absolutely made a difference. And I want to apologize because my cat was being an arse in the back of my screen. So Blanca was not giggling at the story, for sure. It was my idiotic cat doing whatever the hell she was.
It's your adorable cat doing kitty things, and it's like, oh my God, I love you.
Just attempting to disrupt my peace, Lily. But yeah, I just wanted to apologize. Hearing that out of context wouldn't have been right. But yeah, for sure, her bravery, her courage, and that is the only thing I think is creating an environment where bravery and courage win. Is how we dismantle unsafe spaces. It's how we stop predators. It's how we, essentially topple systems of oppression, isn't it, for want of a better word? It's how we create fair, equitable spaces where everybody is recognized, because when we boil it down to it, we're all human, right? We are all of equal importance. No one human is worth any more than any one other human.
Without a doubt.
And yet, there are, in this context, there are people that would believe their value is untouchable, and it's not okay.
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt.
So I really value you being here and sharing your perspective and your stories and the things that you are doing around essentially breaking silence and disrupting that. And is there anything that you would like to, I guess, offer as help or support or information? In fact, on two perspectives. Firstly, to people who are thinking we'd like to do more in our workplaces to make it safe for people to speak up, what advice would you offer to them?
The advice that I can offer is, don't do it alone. If you're experiencing something that is not right in your place of work, in your home, wherever the case may be, with family, speak up. Don't do what I did. Please don't do what I did and stay in silence. Someone will always have your back. Someone. That is for sure. I can promise you all that someone will always have your back. Someone will always be there to support you, whether it is a family member or not. In my case, family members came to my support because I finally spoke up about it. Don't wait as much as I did. I waited 47 years of my life to speak up, and finally tell my story to as many people as possible in the form of a chapter in a book. But there's always a way to say it out loud. Don't do it alone, please. That's definitely the best advice that I can give to someone. And even though in this world, in the workplace, everywhere, there's always deranged people and sick people and people that carry a lot of darkness within themselves. You don't need to fall into that. You don't need to fall into anybody's darkness, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to come save you except yourself. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is true. We have to be able to first and foremost advocate for ourselves and speak up for ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what I meant with nobody's coming to save you except yourself, it means speak up.
Yeah.
Say something. Don't do it alone. We are beings, this human experience, we're mammals. We're beings of being in packs and being in groups and being in social environments. And when I say social, it means talking to each other. Communication. Communication is key. And if in my case, when I was growing up, I didn't have my mother to rely on for support because she was dealing with her own demons and her own darkness, there's other people that will be there for you. I promise you that. Just go ahead and reach out. Nobody can guess what's going on in your mind and in your heart unless you say something about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I guess who is the one person? Because everybody must have hopefully one person that they can trust
Absolutely.
enough. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Thank you. And what advice would you give to the one person who has someone trust them enough to open up and share something like this with them?
The advice that I would give to that one person that is trusted, if you're the listener to the situation, I believe, because this happens a lot, I believe that when someone wants to say something to a friend, just listen up. Shut up and listen up. Don't give opinions that nobody is asking you for. Don't be saying, you should do this, you should do that. How about, it's so important. I hear you. I hear you. That's all we need and appreciate. If I only had someone all of those years ago to say, I hear you. There's no judgment. There's no pointing fingers, especially in very delicate, difficult situations like these. Don't be judging. Don't be pointing fingers. Don't be saying what you would done. Why? Why did you do this? Why you didn't say nothing? Why? There's no why. It just didn't happen that way. It just did or didn't happen that way. So please, to the listener of someone that comes to you with these very important conversations, listen up, shut up. I hear you. I am here for you. I'm not judging. Because that's how a lot of people have opened up to me, because it's like, I'm here. I'm here to listen to you, to be there for you. And being there for someone, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a full-blown conversation over it. That's why so many people have cats, dogs, and we speak to our animals. We speak to them. And that is a whole, I mean, yeah, I was reading somewhere that us people that we speak to plants, cats, dogs, animals, we have us, I mean, emotionally speaking, we are in a whole other dimension of openness. How beautiful is that? Definitely, definitely, but definitely be a listener. Don't be so much of a talker. Yeah.
Wonderful. I really like that. Yeah. So yeah, listen up, shut up. I hear you. No judgment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And if people are thinking, oh, Blanca, I would really like to hear more about the work that you do and just, know more about you as a person, how can people connect with you and find out more about you?
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, you can reach me at my website at www.woundedhealer.us, and I am in all social media platforms as woundedhealer.blancae. I'm here to help. I'm here to give a helping hand to whoever needs it because you deserve to be heard.
Fantastic. Blanca E. Rodriguez, thank you so much for joining me today on the Speaking of Inclusion podcast.
Thank you so much, Katie, for having me. What an honor this has been.
Done. Oh, I just realized I didn't ask my signature question. Shit. Hang on a minute. Let's test it out.
Sure.
Blanca, is there anything that you came to say that you haven't had the opportunity to say?
That I haven't had the opportunity to say. When in doubt, dance.
There you go. I'm now going to let it run a bit longer so people can forget that, and we'll leave it in. Now, Blanca E. Rodriguez. This time, thank you very much for joining me on the Speaking of Inclusion podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. What an honor it has been to be here.
Awesome. Done. Oh, that's hilarious. I heard myself saying that and I was like, I've forgotten something. I've actually forgotten something.